Sam Hoffman liked simple things. He liked the warm sand between his toes. He liked the sound of waves hitting the shore. And he really liked his old brown sandals that had walked with him on beaches across the world for the past 5 years. Today was a perfect day. The Florida sun was bright but not too hot. A light breeze came off the ocean. Sam sat on his porch looking at the water while eating a peanut butter sandwich. His small beach house wasn't fancy, but it was all he needed. After 10 years studying ocean life and teaching at the university, this year-long break was his reward to himself. He took another bite of his sandwich and closed his eyes. Peace and quiet. Nothing but the sound of birds and waves. Then came the humming. It started low, like a car with a bad engine. Then it grew louder. Sam opened his eyes and looked around. There were no cars nearby. The humming got stronger until the air itself seemed to shake. What in the world? Sam stood up, sandwich still in hand. The air above his small backyard garden began to shine and twist. The tomato plants bent sideways as if pushed by a strong wind. Then, in a flash of blue light, a ship appeared. It wasn't big, about the size of a city bus. But it clearly wasn't from Earth. The outside was smooth and silver with strange marks that glowed soft blue. It floated 3 feet above Sam's crushed tomato plants. Sam blinked twice. Huh, he said, taking another bite of his sandwich. A door slid open on the side of the ship. 3 figures stepped out, dressed in what looked like fancy armor. They moved carefully, as if ready for danger. The tallest one, with blue skin and large eyes, stepped forward. This being wore the most detailed armor, decorated with symbols and small glowing lights. A clear helmet covered a face that looked almost human except for the blue skin and eyes that were too large and completely black. 2 other aliens stood behind the blue one. One was short and round with 4 arms and green-gray skin. The other was tall and thin with skin that seemed to shift colors like oil on water. All 3 wore heavy armor and carried devices on their belts that Sam guessed might be weapons. The blue alien looked at Sam, then at the beach house, then back at Sam. It pressed something on its wrist, and the front of its helmet slid open. Dr. Samuel Hoffman of Earth? The voice was smooth and clear, with only a slight accent that made some words sound musical. Sam nodded. That's me, though most people just call me Sam. He held up what was left of his sandwich. Would you like some peanut butter? I can make more. The 3 aliens looked at each other. The blue one's large eyes blinked several times. I am Ambassador Zix Nara of the Galactic Council, the blue alien said. This is Commander Vrock, head of security, and Specialist Meal, our xenobiologist. The short 4-armed alien nodded stiffly. The tall color-shifting one did not move. Nice to meet you all, Sam said with a smile. Can I ask why you crushed my tomatoes? The aliens again exchanged looks. We bring a formal invitation from the Galactic Council, Zixnara said. Earth has been chosen to join the interstellar community, and you, Dr. Hoffman, have been selected as Earth's first representative. Sam finished his sandwich and brushed the crumbs from his faded t-shirt that read, Save the Reefs. Me? That's interesting. Why not someone from a government or something? Commander Vrock stepped forward. His helmet opened to show a face with tough gray skin and small yellow eyes. Our analysis algorithms identified you as the optimal first contact. Your psychological profile indicates high adaptability, advanced problem-solving abilities, and minimal aggression markers. Sam laughed. Well, I do try to stay relaxed, no point getting worked up about things. You are not what we expected, Zixnara said, looking at Sam's shorts and sandals. What did you expect? Earth is classified as a death world. Specialist, Meal said, her voice soft and quick. Her helmet remained closed. High gravity, extreme weather patterns, dangerous wildlife, and high atmospheric oxygen leading to frequent fires. Species from such worlds typically develop high physical resilience and aggressive tendencies. Sam scratched his head. I guess Earth can be dangerous in some places, but it's pretty nice right here. You are not wearing protective gear, Zixnara. Noted. And your dwelling has minimal security. Sam looked down at his clothes, then at his small beach house. Don't need much out here. Come inside, we can talk more. I'll make some iced tea. The aliens hesitated, but followed Sam into his home. They moved carefully, as if expecting traps. Sam's living room was simple but comfortable. Books filled the shelves, many about ocean life, but also history, languages, and classic novels. A large fish tank bubbled in one corner with colorful fish swimming among the plants. Photos on the walls showed Sam in different parts of the world, always smiling, often with local people. Please sit, Sam said, pointing to the couch and chairs. I'll get drinks. When Sam returned with glasses of iced tea, he found the alien still standing, examining his books and photos with great interest. You have visited many regions of your planet, Zixnara observed, pointing to a photo of Sam with a group of people, in traditional clothing beside a temple. I love traveling and meeting new people, Sam said. That's from my time in Thailand studying coral reefs. Wonderful people there. You study ocean life forms? Meal asked, her attention now on the fish tank. Yep, marine biology. Been doing it for 15 years now. Commander Vrock was examining a small statue of Buddha on one shelf. Is this your deity? No, just a reminder of good principles. Balance, kindness, staying in the moment. Zixnara finally sat down, though she perched on the edge of the couch as if ready to move quickly. Dr. Hoffman, we must discuss your trip to the Galactic Council. We should depart within your next planetary rotation. Sam handed out the tea. That soon? I need to call someone about my fish and my mail. The aliens looked at each other again. You seem very... Zixnara paused, searching for the word. Calm about all this. Sam took a sip of his tea and smiled. Life's too short to get worked up about things. Besides, how many chances do you get to visit other planets? Most species experience significant distress at first contact, Meal said. I watched a lot of science fiction growing up, Sam said with a shrug. Always figured we weren't alone out there. Sam spent the next hour asking questions about the Galactic Council, other planets, and how the ship worked. The aliens gradually relaxed as they realized he truly wasn't going to panic or attack them. As the sun began to set, Sam stood up. I should pack if we're leaving tomorrow. How long will I be gone? The journey to Nexus Prime takes 14 Earth days, Zixnara said that your stay could last several of your months. Sam nodded. All right then, let me get my things together. We have provided appropriate attire and all necessities on the ship, Commander Vrock said. Thanks, but I'll bring my own stuff, Sam said. Just the basics. As the aliens returned to their ship for the night, they watched Sam through the windows of his home, moving calmly from room to room, selecting items and placing them in a worn backpack. This is not what I expected from a Deathworlder, Zixnara said quietly. He is either exceptionally well-controlled, or our data is flawed. Vrock replied. Perhaps both, Meal added. Humans may be more complex than our models suggested. Inside, Sam placed several sets of comfortable clothes in his pack, along with his favorite books, a small photo of his parents, and his lucky fishing hat. In a side pocket, he carefully tucked his emergency kit, first aid supplies, a multi-tool, and a water purifier. Last, he packed 3 pairs of sandals. Whatever waited for him among the stars, he would face it comfortably. The morning sun was just rising when Sam walked out of his beach house with his backpack slung over one shoulder. He carried a small potted plant in his free hand. All set, he said to the waiting aliens. He had called his neighbor Joe to look after his house and feed his fish. He had also sent an email to the university saying he needed to extend his sabbatical for an unexpected research opportunity. Zixnara looked at Sam's small backpack with surprise. That is all you are bringing for a journey of potentially several months? I travel light, Sam said with a smile. He held up the potted plant. This is Herbert, he's coming too. The alien stared at the small green plant. You name your flora? Commander Vrock asked, his voice somewhere between confused and suspicious. Just this one. He's been with me through 3 moves and 2 girlfriends. Sam patted the plant's leaves gently. He's low maintenance. Like me. After a moment of silence, Zixanara gestured toward the ship. Please follow me. Inside the ship was surprisingly roomy. The walls glowed with a soft blue light that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere. The air smelled clean, almost like after a rainstorm. A young alien with purple skin and 6 fingers on each hand approached them. This one wore a simple uniform instead of armor. Dr. Hoffman, this is Rix, our junior technician. Rix will show you to your quarters and help you adjust to the ship, Zixanara said. Rix bowed slightly. It is an honor to meet a representative of Earth. Nice to meet you too, Rix, and please call me Sam. Rix led Sam through curved hallways to a small room. It had a bed that looked almost normal except for its perfectly round shape. There was also a desk, something that might be a closet, and a door that probably led to a bathroom. The environmental controls have been set to Earth standards, Rix explained, pointing to a panel on the wall with strange symbols. The ship's artificial gravity is currently at 0.8 of your Earth gravity to help you adjust. Sam bounced slightly on his toes. That's why I feel a bit lighter. Cool. If you need anything, just speak to the room. The ship's systems will understand basic requests in your language. Sam placed Herbert on a shelf near what looked like a window, though it currently showed only darkness. Got any sunlight settings? For my plant friend here? Rix touched the wall panel and a gentle light began to shine down on the plant. Will this suffice? Perfect. Herbert says thanks. Rix's head tilted slightly. Your plant communicates with you? Sam laughed. Figure of speech. Hey, when do we take off? We already have, Rix said. We left Earth's atmosphere while I was showing you to your room. Sam's eyes widened. Really? I didn't feel a thing. Our inertial dampeners prevent any sensation of acceleration. Would you like to see your planet from space before we leave orbit? Absolutely. The dark window suddenly showed Earth floating in blackness. The blue oceans, white clouds, and green and brown land made a beautiful sight against the emptiness of space. Sam stood silently for a long moment. Wow, he finally whispered. It's so beautiful, and so small. We will enter faster than light travel in approximately 1 hour, Rix said. Would you like a tour of the ship before then? Sam tore his eyes away from the view of Earth. Lead the way. Rix showed Sam the ship's central command area, where Captain Kelvor, a tall alien with gray skin and a serious face, gave Sam a curt nod before returning to work. They visited the dining area, where food synthesizers could apparently create meals from various worlds, including rough approximations of Earth food. The medical bay is our next stop, Rix said. Dr. Lyria would like to perform a standard health assessment if you are willing. The medical bay was spotlessly clean. Doctor. Lyria had pale pink skin and 4 arms. Her eyes were large and kind. Welcome, Dr. Hoffman, she said. I am the ship's physician. Nice to meet you. And it's just Sam. Dr. Lyria gestured to what looked like a bed surrounded by strange equipment. Would you mind lying down here? It's a standard scan, completely painless, Sam shrugged. Sure thing. He climbed onto the bed and stretched out. A soft humming filled the room as lights moved over Sam's body. Dr. Lyria watched a screen displaying symbols and images that made no sense to Sam. After a few minutes, the humming stopped. Dr. Lyria was staring at the screen, her 4 hands working quickly over the controls. Is something wrong? Sam asked, sitting up. Not wrong, Dr. Lyria said slowly. Surprising. Your bone density is remarkable, and your muscle structure. She looked at Sam with new eyes. You seem so relaxed for a Deathworlder. Sam chuckled. Not the first time someone's called me too relaxed. My last boss said I was pathologically chill. Dr. Lyria consulted with Rix in their own language, a series of musical notes and clicks. Rix's eyes widened as they spoke. Is everything okay? Sam asked again. Yes, Dr. Lyria said. You are in excellent health. It's just that your physiology confirms what we know of Deathworld species. Your species evolved in conditions that would kill many sentient beings. Earth doesn't seem that bad to me, Sam said. Your bones could withstand impacts that would shatter mine, Dr. Lyria explained. Your immune system is extraordinarily aggressive. Your muscles, even in a relaxed state, are denser than most species when fully tensed. Sam flexed his arm jokingly, and here I thought I was out of shape. You are a remarkable specimen, yet you display none of the aggression typically found in Deathworld species, Dr. Lyria said, still sounding puzzled. The rest of the tour continued, with Rick showing Sam the recreation areas and observation decks. Eventually, they returned to Sam's quarters. We will enter faster than light travel soon, Rick said. Some first-timers find it disorienting. You may wish to rest. Thanks for the tour, Ricks, Sam said. I think I'll read for a bit. After Ricks left, Sam sat on his bed and pulled a worn paperback from his backpack. As he opened to his bookmarked page, the ship's lights dimmed slightly and a gentle voice announced, "Preparing for FTL transition." Sam looked out the window at Earth, now just a small blue dot in the blackness. "See you later," he whispered. The stars outside suddenly stretched into lines, and then the view changed to a swirling tunnel of blue and white light. Sam felt a brief moment of dizziness, then it passed. He returned to his book, but soon his eyes grew heavy. The day's excitement caught up with him, and he drifted off to sleep with the book on his chest. When Sam woke hours later, he found Zixanara standing in his doorway. "I apologize for disturbing your rest," she said. "But there is a situation in the dining area. Specialist Meal is having difficulty with one of our guest species." Sam rubbed his eyes. "What kind of difficulty?" "The Vortak delegation is threatening violence over a perceived insult. Captain Kelvor suggested your presence might be helpful, as you seem to have a calming influence." Sam stood up and stretched. "Let me put on my diplomacy sandals," he said, with a smile, reaching for his bag. 5 minutes later, Sam walked into the dining area wearing fresh shorts, a clean t-shirt, and his most comfortable sandals. 4 large creatures with thick fur and sharp teeth were growling at Specialist Meal, who stood very still against a wall. Sam walked straight up to them with a friendly smile. "Hi there, I'm Sam from Earth. Anyone tried the coffee from this food machine? I could use some help figuring it out." The furry aliens turned to look at this strange new creature who seemed completely unconcerned by their threatening display. From the doorway, Zixanara watched in amazement as Sam's casual friendliness completely diffused the tension. Within minutes, he was sitting with the Vortak, showing them pictures of Earth's oceans on a small device from his pocket. "Remarkable," she whispered to Captain Kelvor, who had arrived to handle the situation. "Perhaps there is more to this human than we realized." The next 7 days on the ship passed quickly. Sam spent his time learning about the different alien species and cultures from Ricks, who proved to be an eager teacher. Sam also shared stories about Earth, showing pictures of oceans, forests, and cities on his small tablet. By the 8th day, Sam had become something of a celebrity on the ship. Crew members would find reasons to visit the areas where he spent time. The Vortak delegation, who had nearly started a fight when they first met, now invited Sam to join them for meals. "You have a gift for connecting with others," Zixanara said, one day as she and Sam watched stars streak by from an observation deck. Sam shrugged. "I just treat everyone like they matter, because they do." "Is this common among humans?" "Some more than others. We can be a mixed bunch." Zixanara seemed to choose her next words carefully. "Our data suggests humans can be quite aggressive when threatened." Sam nodded. "That's true. We have a strong survival instinct, but most of us prefer to get along when possible. Yet your planet has a history of wars and conflicts. Yeah, we've made plenty of mistakes, still making them, but we're learning, I think. Slowly." Before Zixanara could respond, the ship's alarms began to blare. Red lights flashed along the walls. "Please return to your quarters," Zixanara said, suddenly formal. "This is likely just a drill, but—" Captain Kelvor's voice came through speakers. "All crew to battle stations. This is not a drill. We have a Krazak vessel approaching fast. Sixanara's face showed worry. Krazak? Here? Who are they? Sam asked. Pirates. Very dangerous. Please return to your quarters immediately. The ship shuddered violently. Sam had to grab a rail to stay upright. That was a warning shot, Kelvor's voice announced. All non-essential personnel, secure yourselves. Prepare for possible boarding. Sam followed Zixnara to the bridge instead of going to his room. The command center was busy with crew members working at control panels. Captain Kelvor stood in the center, looking at a large display showing another ship, jagged and dark, approaching them. Ambassador, why is the human here? Kelvor demanded when he saw them. Before Zixnara could answer, Sam spoke up. I might be able to help. This is not a diplomatic situation, Kelvor said firmly. The Krazak do not negotiate. They take what they want. The ship shook again, harder this time. Several crew members fell to the floor. Shields at 60%, someone reported. They're targeting our engines. Return fire, Kelvor ordered. Focus on their weapons systems. Sam watched as lights flashed between the ships on the display. He noticed something odd about the attack pattern. They're hurting us, he said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. What do you mean? Kelvor asked. They're shots. They're not trying to disable us completely. They're pushing us toward that large asteroid. Sam pointed to a dark shape on the edge of the display. I think they have friends waiting there. Kelvor looked at the display again, his eyes narrowing. Scan the asteroid. A crew member worked quickly at a panel. He's right. There are two, more ships hiding on the far side. How did you know? Zixnara asked Sam. I grew up fishing. It's a strategy. Push the fish toward your nets. Kelvor immediately began giving new orders. The ship changed course, moving away from the asteroid. But the pirate ship increased its attack, focusing now on their main engines. Shields at 30%, a crew member called out. Engine power falling. Sam looked around the bridge. Do you have anything like escape pods or small crafts? Yes, but we cannot outrun them in shuttles, Kelvor said. Not to escape. As a distraction. Sam quickly explained his idea. Minutes later, 3 small shuttles launched from the diplomatic ship, speeding off in different directions. The pirate ship hesitated, then split its fire between the main ship and the shuttles. Now, Sam said. The main ship suddenly reversed course, heading straight for the pirate vessel at full speed. The surprised pirates tried to move aside, but they were too slow. The diplomatic ship skimmed past them, close enough that the shields sparked where they nearly touched. Fire everything at their engine section as we pass, Kelvor ordered. The diplomatic ship's weapons hit the pirate vessel's engines at point-blank range. The pirate ship spun out of control, drifting powerless. Their friends are coming out from behind the asteroid, someone reported. Recall the shuttles and prepare for FTL jump, Kelvor ordered. Within minutes, the diplomatic ship had gathered its shuttles and jumped to faster-than-light speed, leaving the pirates behind. The bridge was quiet for a moment. Then Captain Kelvor turned to Sam. Your strategy was effective, he said, sounding surprised. You have military training? Sam shook his head. Just a lot of nature shows and some history books. Tactics are tactics, whether it's animals hunting or ships fighting. The rest of the journey passed without incident. As they neared their destination, excitement spread through the ship. Sam spent more time with Zixnara, who taught him about the Galactic Council and what to expect. There are 412 species represented, she explained. Some have been part of the Council for thousands of years. Earth is one of the newest worlds to be invited, and they're expecting some fierce warrior from a death world, Sam said with a smile. They will be surprised. On the final day before arrival, a formal dinner was held. Captain Kelvor made a speech thanking Sam for his help during the pirate attack. The Vortak presented Sam with a small ceremonial knife, a sign of respect in their culture. Dr. Lyria approached Sam after dinner. I have been studying the data from your medical scans, she said. Humans are fascinating. Your bodies can heal from injuries that would kill most species. We're pretty tough, I guess, Sam admitted, though I try to avoid testing that whenever possible. Yet you risked yourself to help during the pirate attack. Sam shrugged. It seemed like the right thing to do. The next morning, Sam stood at the window in his quarters, watching as they approached Nexus Prime, home of the Galactic Council. The planet was beautiful. Swirls of blue and green with rings that sparkled in the light of two suns. A knock at his door made him turn. Zixanara stood there holding what looked like formal clothing. The council expects certain protocols, she said, offering the clothes. These were prepared for Earth's representative. Sam looked at the stiff, ornate outfit. It resembled a military uniform with various medals and decorations already attached. Thanks, but I brought my own formal wear, Sam said with a smile. Zixanara looked concerned. The first impression is very important. The council will be evaluating Earth based on how you present yourself. Then they should see the real Earth, not what they expect, Sam said gently. Don't worry, I'll be respectful. As the ship docked at an enormous space station orbiting Nexus Prime, Sam changed into his cleanest khaki shorts and a plain blue, button-up shirt left open over a white t-shirt. He put on his least worn pair of sandals. He combed his hair neatly and trimmed his beard. When he stepped out to meet Zixanara and the welcoming committee, she stared at him with what might have been horror. You cannot meet the High Council dressed like that, she said. Sam smiled warmly. This is who I am, Zixanara. This is Earth. Not what they expect, maybe, but what we really are. The doors opened, revealing a vast docking bay filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Many wore elaborate outfits and ceremonial armor. At the front stood a group of especially important-looking officials. Sam took a deep breath, put on his friendliest smile, and stepped forward, sandals flip-flopping against the polished floor. Hello there, he called out cheerfully. I'm Sam, from Earth. It's real nice to meet you all. The assembled aliens stared in silence at the human in sandals who was about to change their understanding of Deathworlders forever. The silence in the docking bay lasted only a few seconds, but to Sam it felt much longer. Then a tall figure stepped forward from the group of officials. This alien had silver skin that shimmered like water and wore flowing robes with complex patterns. Welcome to Nexus Prime, representative of Earth, the alien said in a musical voice. I am High Counselor Ilara, head of the Galactic Council. Sam smiled and extended his hand. Nice to meet you, High Counselor. I'm Sam Hoffman. Ilara looked at Sam's outstretched hand with curiosity, then slowly reached out her own long-fingered hand. Sam shook it gently. That's how we greet people on Earth, he explained. Whispers spread through the crowd of aliens. Many were staring at Sam's sandals and casual clothes. Some looked offended, others confused, and a few seemed amused. A large alien with red scales and sharp ridges along its head pushed forward. This is the representative from the Deathworld? This soft creature in foot coverings? The alien's voice was deep and rumbling. Ambassador Dorn of the Varkian Empire, Zixanara whispered to Sam. Sam nodded to Dorn. These are called sandals. Very comfortable. I'd be happy to show you where to get a pair. The Varkian's eyes narrowed. You mock us with your disrespect? Not at all, Sam said calmly. This is how I dress on Earth. I thought you'd want to meet a real human, not some dressed-up version. High Counselor Ilara raised a hand for silence. The Earth representative will be given time to rest after his journey. The formal introduction to the council will take place tomorrow. Sam was led to living quarters in a tall tower overlooking a vast alien city. The room was large and comfortable, with strange plants and what looked like art on the walls. The window showed a view of buildings in shapes Sam had never seen before, all glittering under the light of two suns. This is amazing, Sam said, setting Herbert the plant on a table near the window. A council aide will come for you in the morning, Zixanara said. There are appropriate clothes in the closet. Thanks, but I'll stick with my own stuff, Sam replied. Zixanara sighed. Sam, please understand. The council has certain expectations. The Varkians already see your casual appearance as a sign of disrespect. Being real isn't disrespectful, Sam said. If they want to know Earth, they need to see us as we are, not what they want us to be. After Zixnara left, Sam explored his rooms, tried the strange food a service robot brought, and watched the alien city as day turned to night and lights of all colors began to shine. In the morning, a young alien with purple skin, similar to Rick's but taller, arrived to escort Sam. I'm Counselor Mira, she said. I volunteered to be your guide today. Thanks, Counselor, I appreciate it. As they walked through vast hallways with soaring ceilings, Mira explained. The Council Chamber is the oldest structure on Nexus Prime. It was built 5,000 years ago when the Galactic Council was first formed. That's a lot of history, Sam said, looking at the strange symbols carved into the walls. Many are nervous about your world joining the Council, Mira admitted. Deathworld species have sometimes been difficult to integrate. We're not so bad once you get to know us, Sam said with a smile. They stopped before enormous doors that seemed to be made of metal and stone woven together. Ready? Mira asked. Sam adjusted his blue button-up shirt, straightened his khaki shorts, and wiggled his toes in his sandals. As ready as I'll ever be. The doors swung open silently, revealing a vast circular room. Hundreds of aliens sat in rising tiers of seats, all facing a central platform. The crowd fell silent as Sam walked in, his sandals making soft noises on the polished floor. High Counselor Alara stood on the central platform. Representatives of the Galactic Council, I present Dr. Samuel Hoffman of Earth. Sam walked to the center and looked around at the sea of alien faces. Some he recognized from his studies on the ship. Trilaxians with their 3 eyes, floating mist people with no solid form, giant insect-like Kriz. Others were completely new to him. Hi, everyone, Sam said, waving. It's really nice to be here. More whispers. Ambassador Dorn of the Varkians stood up. This is unacceptable. The human shows no proper respect for this chamber. Look at his casual attire, his informal speech. Another alien stood. This one had blue fur and 6 arms. I agree with the Varkian. Earth has sent us a joke, not a representative. Sam remained calm. I understand this isn't what you expected. You thought Earth would send someone in fancy clothes with a serious face and formal words, but that wouldn't be honest. The chamber grew quieter as Sam continued. On Earth, we have a saying, come as you are. It means be yourself, be honest about who you are. I'm here as myself. I'm a scientist who loves the ocean and simple things. I'm not a politician or a warrior. Sam gestured to his clothes. These aren't meant to disrespect anyone. This is just me. And if Earth is going to join your community, I think we should start with honesty, not pretending to be something we're not. High Counselor Alara studied Sam carefully. An interesting perspective. But the Council has protocols that have stood for thousands of years. With respect, High Counselor, maybe some protocols could use fresh eyes. I've learned so much about your cultures in just a few days. Maybe you could learn something from Earth, too. The Varkian ambassador made a harsh sound. What could we possibly learn from a species that sends a representative in foot coverings? Sam smiled. How about we find out? I propose a challenge. The council chamber buzzed with conversation. High Counselor Alara raised her hand for silence. What challenge do you propose, Earth representative? Ambassador Dorn seems concerned about my abilities. Let him test me however he wants. If I fail, I'll put on the fancy clothes and follow every protocol to the letter. If I succeed, maybe you'll consider that Earth's different approach might have some value. Ambassador Dorn's scaled face showed what might have been a smile. I accept. Meet me in the trial arena in 1 hour. As the council session ended, aliens rushed out speaking excitedly. Counselor Mira looked worried. The Varkian trials are designed for warriors, she told Sam as they left the chamber. They're tests of strength, endurance, and combat skills. Oh, Sam said, looking thoughtful. That might be a problem. You can withdraw the challenge. No one would blame you. Sam shook his head. No, I made the offer. I'll see it through. 1 hour later, Sam stood in a large arena surrounded by hundreds of spectators. He had changed into a t-shirt and shorts better suited for movement, but kept his sandals on. Ambassador Dorn entered wearing what looked like light battle armor. He carried a staff with glowing ends. The Varkian trials have 3 parts, an announcer explained. Physical strength, endurance, and combat skill. Begin. For the strength test, they had to lift increasingly heavy stone blocks. Dorn lifted his with obvious ease, muscles bulging under his scales. When Sam's turn came, the aliens watched expectantly, many probably hoping to see him fail. Sam approached the block, remembering what Dr. Lyria had said about human strength compared to other species. He planted his feet, bent his knees, and lifted. The stone was heavy, very heavy, but Sam's muscles, evolved on Earth's higher gravity, managed the task. Sweat poured down his face, but he held the block up and then carefully set it down. The crowd murmured in surprise. The endurance test involved running through a course filled with obstacles while carrying weights. Dorn moved with power and determination. Sam moved more slowly but steadily, his sandals finding good footing on the rough terrain. When they finished, both were breathing hard, but both had completed the course. The human is stronger than he appears, someone in the crowd said. Final test, combat skill, the announcer called. Dorn twirled his staff expertly. Sam was given a similar weapon but held it awkwardly. I should mention, Sam said, loud enough for nearby spectators to hear. I've never been in a fight in my life. Dorn lunged forward with his staff. Sam jumped aside, barely avoiding the blow. Again and again, Dorn attacked while Sam dodged and backed away. Stop running and fight, Dorn growled. Why? Sam asked, ducking under another swing. Fighting should be the last option, not the first. Sam continued to avoid Dorn's attacks, never striking back, just staying out of reach. The Varkian grew increasingly frustrated and tired. Finally, Sam tripped over his own feet and fell. Dorn stood over him with his staff raised for a final blow. You have lost, human, Dorn said. Sam looked up at him calmly. Have I? You're trying to hurt me. I'm just trying not to get hurt. Which approach seems better for building a peaceful galaxy? Dorn hesitated, his staff still raised. I may not be the warrior you expected from Earth, Sam continued, but not all strength comes from fighting. After a long moment, Dorn lowered his staff and extended his hand to help Sam up. The arena was silent as Sam stood and dusted himself off. The days after the Varkian trials changed everything. News spread quickly through Nexus Prime about the human who matched a Varkian warrior in strength and endurance but refused to fight. Many council members who had ignored Sam now wanted to meet him. You've become quite popular, Councillor Mira told Sam as they walked through the gardens of the council tower. Floating lights drifted among strange plants with glowing leaves and flowers that changed colors as they passed. I'm just being myself, Sam said. Nothing special about that. But it is special here. The council has strict rules about everything. How to dress, how to speak, how to act. You ignore those rules, yet you show respect in your own way. Prank. Councillor Alara called a special council session 3 days after the trials. Sam arrived in his usual outfit, clean khaki shorts, a fresh shirt, and his trusted sandals. Representatives of the Galactic Council, Alara began. We face an unexpected crisis in the Centauri system. Images appeared in the air above the council floor, showing 2 planets orbiting a bright star. Both planets glowed with city lights. The Artaxians and Thulians have begun armed conflict over the 3rd planet in their system, Alara explained. This dispute has continued for centuries, but now threatens to become a full war. Ambassador Dorn stood. The Varkian Empire offers our battle fleets to enforce peace. More weapons will not solve this, another council member argued. As the debate grew heated, Sam raised his hand. Alara noticed and nodded to him. Earth representative, you wish to speak? I was wondering if anyone has asked the Artaxians and Thulians what they really want, Sam said. Not just what they're fighting over, but what they hope for. The dispute is complex, Alara said. It involves resources, historical claims, and cultural differences. People are people, even alien people, Sam said. They all want safety, prosperity, and respect. Maybe I could talk to them? The council chamber went silent, then filled with voices. Some laughed at the idea of sending this casual human to solve a centuries-old conflict. Others seemed curious. You believe you can succeed where our best diplomats have failed? Elara asked. I don't know, Sam admitted. But sometimes a fresh perspective helps. I have no history with either side, no stake in who wins. I just want to understand them. To Sam's surprise, the council voted to send him as a special envoy to the Centauri system. Nara would accompany him, along with a small diplomatic team. This is highly unusual, Nara told Sam, as their ship prepared to leave Nexus Prime. First contact representatives don't typically become involved in major disputes. I probably shouldn't have volunteered, Sam said. But I couldn't just listen to them talk about sending warships. The journey to the Centauri system took 5 days. Sam spent the time learning about the two species and their long conflict. The Artaxians were strong, built like earth bears but with 6 limbs and tough gray skin. They valued strength and tradition. The Thulians were smaller, with delicate features and skin that changed color with their emotions. They valued art and technology. Both claimed the third planet in their system, which had rich resources and strategic importance. When they arrived, tension filled the air. Military ships from both sides watched each other warily. Nara arranged meetings with leaders from both planets. General Kren, the Artaxian leader, received them in a room filled with weapons and battle trophies. He was huge even for an Artaxian with scars across his face. The council sends a human diplomat? Kren's deep voice showed his skepticism. And one dressed for a beach visit? Sam smiled. I'm not really a diplomat. I'm a scientist who studies oceans, but sometimes the simplest solutions are the best. There is no simple solution here, Kren growled. The Thulians must recognize our historical claim to Centauri 3. The meeting with Prime Delegate Sora of the Thulians was very different. Their meeting room was beautiful, with light playing through crystal structures and soft music in the background. Sora's skin shifted between blue and purple as they spoke. The Artaxians would strip our ancestral world of resources, Sora said. We have developed sustainable methods to harvest what we need while preserving the natural beauty. After both meetings, Sam sat quietly in his quarters on the diplomatic ship. Nara found him there, staring out at the stars. What do you think? She asked. They're both right, in their own ways, Sam said. And both wrong too, but there's something they're not saying. The next day, Sam made a surprising request. He asked to visit Centauri 3, the disputed planet, with representatives from both sides. I want to see what they're fighting over, he explained. General Kren and Prime Delegate Sora reluctantly agreed, each sending a small team to accompany Sam. They landed in a neutral zone, an area of stunning natural beauty with mountains overlooking a valley of strange crystal formations. As they stood together looking at the view, Sam asked simple questions. How long have your people visited this planet? What do you value most about this world? What would be lost if you couldn't access it anymore? Gradually, a clearer picture emerged. Both species had cultural and spiritual connections to the planet that went beyond resources or strategic value. Both feared losing something precious if the other gained control. As they talked, dark clouds gathered overhead. Local weather monitors warned of a sudden violent storm approaching, a common occurrence on this planet with its unstable atmosphere. We must return to our ships, the Thulian representative said urgently. But before they could leave, the storm hit with unexpected force. Lightning struck nearby and flash floods began pouring down the mountainside. This way, Sam called, pointing to higher ground. The group, Artaxians, Thulians, and the diplomatic team, struggled through the rising water. An Artaxian soldier slipped and was swept away by the current. Without hesitation, Sam jumped in after him. The water was powerful, but Sam's strong, earth-evolved body fought against it. He reached the Artaxian, who was struggling to stay above water with an injured leg. Sam helped him to shore where Thulian medics immediately began treatment. For the next 3 hours, both sides worked together under Sam's calm direction to find shelter and survive the storm. By the time it passed, something had changed between them. Back on Nexus Prime a week later, Sam stood before the council again. This time, he wasn't alone. General Kren and Prime Delegate Sora stood with him. "The human has helped us find a path forward," Sora announced, skin glowing a peaceful green. "We have agreed to joint stewardship of Centauri 3, Kren added. "Both our peoples have legitimate connections to the world." The agreement they reached was simple but effective. Certain areas would be preserved completely. Others would be developed using Thulian sustainable methods but with Artaxian security forces providing protection. Both cultures would be honored in special shared zones. As the council meeting ended, High Counselor Ilara approached Sam. "You have accomplished something remarkable, Earth representative." Sam shrugged. "I just got them talking about what really mattered to them. The storm did the rest, showed them they could work together." "Perhaps there is wisdom in your informal approach," Ilara admitted. "The Council has voted to officially welcome Earth as a member world." In the following weeks, Sam helped establish formal relations between Earth and the Galactic Council. When the first permanent Earth embassy opened on Nexus Prime, Sam made sure it included a relaxed area with comfortable chairs and earth plants where visitors could come in casual clothes and simply talk. Other representatives began visiting this unusual embassy. Some even tried wearing sandals. Sam's final act before returning to Earth was to establish what he called the open sandal policy, a commitment that Earth's representatives would always show their true selves rather than what others expected them to be. As Sam packed his few belongings and prepared to go home, Zixanara came to say goodbye. "You have changed how the Council sees Deathworlders," she said. "They expected warriors and got a peacemaker." Sam looked up from packing his well-worn sandals. Maybe that's the real strength that comes from a challenging world. Not just tough bodies, but adaptable minds and resilient spirits. "Will you return?" Zixanara asked. "Of course," Sam said with a smile. "I've got friends here now. Besides, someone needs to make sure the galaxy doesn't get too formal." As his ship departed Nexus Prime, Sam watched the beautiful planet grow smaller. Herbert the plant sat on the window ledge beside him. "Well, Herbert," Sam said to the plant, "who would have thought Sandals would become a diplomatic tool?" Back on Nexus Prime, in the Grand Council chamber where elaborate protocols had ruled for thousands of years, High Counselor Ilara opened a small box that had been left for her. Inside was a pair of simple sandals with a note, "For when the formal shoes get too uncomfortable." "Sam." Ilara smiled and placed them carefully under her ceremonial robes, where no one could see them. Yet.